Real quick, we're gonna be talking about some kind of theories I have. Obviously, all of these are theories, but these are based on things that happen in your life, things that you notice, changes, if you will. Okay. So here's the deal, people. Are we in a parallel universe? Are we in a different timeline? And when we talk about stuff like this, like obviously we're starting with the structure of you're born on this planet. There's nothing interfering with the planet. It's planet Earth. It's the middle of the universe. Okay. This is what we're told. These are the constructs of the mind of what we're told, right? But as you get older, and I'm including myself in this picture here, like, yeah, I mean, people are fairly intelligent, but how intelligent are they? Would they be able to figure out deceptions, changes? So we're gonna be talking about Mandela, CERN, parallel universes, time travel, alternate timelines. Of course, we'll throw in a little bit of targeting and gang stalking in there because we're gonna amalgamate everything together, secret societies, okay, and just my theory on this stuff. Because when you actually become, we'll start off with gang stalking, okay. I don't want to talk about this every video, but when you become a target, and the reason I'm talking about because I went through it, I'm going through it. It's just not as hard as it was, I'll be honest, but afraid to say that because it can get worse, right? Knowing these people or whatever's behind this, right? We don't know if it's people. It could be anything, really. Could be aliens. It could be AI technology. It could be an alternate universe where this stuff didn't exist in the universe we're from. So we're going to go over kind of those theories because this is interesting stuff, okay? Like a lot of the stuff I talk about, I'm not the greatest storyteller, okay? I have some unique ideas, a unique mindset. That's about it. I'm decent at doing some stuff on the computer, right? But this stuff I'm talking about could be a Netflix series because it's so interesting, but it actually has to do with stuff we've all been through, not just me, all of us. We're going to talk about the subtle changes of the Mandela effect, my theories on that, how it goes into the gang stalking. But going back to it real quick, okay, because it has to do with this. I think you become gang stalked in whatever universe you're in. When you become enlightened, you become someone that's like, you were an NPC, you're fucking cog in the machine. And then there was some type of path, some type of knowledge you were learning or researching, some type of theory, idea you had, something that made you different, that made you a target to these, whoever it is, law enforcement, secret societies. And we're going to tie all this in, okay? But first, we're going to be talking about the parallel universe theory, timeline shift theory. Now, I'm not good at this stuff, sci-fi type of stuff, okay? Like, I'm just good at making videos and shit, so I'm not here to be accurate. If you are more accurate than me, then make a fucking video. Get off your lazy ass. Don't just fucking leave a comment. Do something. Make a fucking counter video and correct me. That doesn't offend me. But when you're just a lazy piece of shit and then the only thing you contribute is negativity, that's when I kind of come on here and say I can beat your ass and like that shit's not flying here because this is my platform. This is my digital platform. And like it or not, I'm allowed to say whatever the fuck I want, talk about whatever the fuck I want. And if you don't like it, then you can make your own content and make it better than mine. And that doesn't offend me whatsoever. I actually encourage that because it's not a competition. I'm trying to get the truth out there, find the truth, okay? It's not that difficult. And I might have to abruptly end this live stream. So if I do, I'll make it extra good, but something may happen where a door may open and a person might walk in and then this seems really awkward. So I'm not going to continue it because we're like, who are you talking to? You already know if you're a content creator or anything like that, you live with people talking to me. Oh, and then they listen in and they act like you're fucking weird because you're speaking your mind. You see how this shit works? So on YouTube, there is some type of like holographic, like interstellar, like, yeah, it's a platform with videos and people talking and shit, but these ideas only exist on YouTube. You can't talk like this in society. So there's something special about YouTube. That's what makes it 4D, four-dimensional, not just this like internet platform, because you're acting a different way. So like a lot of the stuff I talk about on here, like acting like a tough guy, that's only towards a certain group of people that have been messing with me in secret. Like I want to intimidate them, make them feel like shit. And that's who that's towards. So if you hear that, don't be offended, but that's who I'm talking to. But That's what this digital platform is. I wouldn't talk or say any of this shit even to myself because it would sound crazy. But when I'm on YouTube and other people listen to it, doesn't sound as crazy, does it? So it's a different reality that's created within. It's like a sub reality, right? So keep that in mind. So we were born into a planet. There was no technology for like, I'm in my 30s, maybe my 40s, maybe my late 20s. You can pick any number in between that, right? But I'm not young. Okay. So if you're around my age, you remember like, all right, there was like VHS tapes and photographs and fucking Walkmans and fucking, you know what I'm saying? It was a different reality. Like it was not the same. You notice a difference. Now it's not crazy because it subtly changes. You subtly get used to the new shit. Okay. So while that's going on, so Earth is on a concourse going from the natural Earth, people being born and like having Walkmans and VHS analog technology to fucking advanced technology. Like this is primitive shit compared to the future, like cell phones and all that. We don't know what they're going to have, whether it's like fucking implants or whatever, holograms, phones or whatever, right? 100 years from now. They're going to be looking at our technology like, wow, that shit's old. So that's the concourse of Earth, of reality. It's always getting better and advanced. Life is getting easier in certain aspects. And it's not like you have to go out and cut timber and shit like that. Like we're moving into a transition period where like robots will be cutting trees down and fucking running shit. And there's going to be like a little nirvana period or whatever, right? Utopia period. And then that's going to collapse. So like Earth, it goes through cycles, right? So this has already happened before, most likely. Like the Earth just keeps destroying itself, rebuilding itself, or we go to different planets. We're on Mars before, now we're on Earth. Then we're gonna go to the fifth planet, whatever, dude. Like, if you know about that stuff, you know about it. Okay, so let's go into it. All right, I'm gonna go into my journey. I learned about Freemasonry, numerology, and that's the first thing I learned that like blew my fucking mind because I used to walk by Freemason symbols before I even knew what a Mason was. And I felt something in my soul, like a connection, but I felt evil, like, cause I'm like a clairvoyant type of person, kind of, right? Well, I would say more empathic, right? Like I'm empathic. I can feel people's feelings and things, and I can have feelings that are like intuitive. So that symbol, I'm like, there's something up with this shit. So I looked it up one day, and then it was like Freemasonry. It's a fucking fraternal order. And then years later, I actually did the deep dive research from YouTube because I learned it from YouTube into the numerology. And then fast forward, this is when CERN starts getting built. We start hearing about CERN after I learned about this, about 2015 or 16. And that's in the profile picture of this thumbnail here. So CERN basically, and again, like even me, like I have to whisper because no one's here, but my neighbors for some reason in this parallel universe, because I never noticed this before when I was younger. And it could be because buildings are decaying and older buildings are more audible. But like, bro, if I'm talking in a low tone, like, and this is multiple apartments, not really hotels, but maybe it's the walls, but bro, like everyone can fucking hear you. So again, like that's a change that I notice. These like little subtle changes from the old world to the new world. Another note thing I noticed is kind of nasty, and it's a stupid thing to say. I'm gonna sound dumb saying this, but wiping your ass takes forever in this universe. If we're in a parallel universe, like bro, I have to use baby wipes because if you use traditional toilet paper, you'll be wiping all day, dog. Like you'll use the whole roll. Like I don't remember being like that. Like if it's like a little glitch. Honestly, I haven't noticed too much shit, like as far as, oh, we're in a parallel universe, this and that. It's so much different. But if we were in one and we were like the NPCs in the parallel universe, like let's say there was a one universe, right? Then technology and XYZ happens, simulations start happening. Now there's multiple universes through the CERN collider thing, right? They open up multiple universes that were parallel universes. You would never know the difference. Like let's say there was a parallel universe open that was created, right? that mirrored the original one, you would have the memories of the past, even though that doesn't exist, because they would implant the memories. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So what I feel like this is what's happening, and there's actually some truth to this, guys. Like there actually is some truth to this. That the military is creating a sentient world simulation, which is a simulation, and NVIDIA, which mirrors Earth, so they can predict stuff in the future. Now, if you look at what's going on with Trump, like this shit doesn't happen in a normal universe, in a normal reality we grew up in. This weird Trump shit and all this fucking deep state and all this fucking narratives and lies and truths. Some of the stuff Trump is saying is true too. Okay, there is some truth, but shit's not fucking normal. Now, it all starts with the CERN collider in 2015-16 and then the Mandela effect. Okay, like these are things you can look up. Where the Mandela effect has things like, if you guys know the brand Jiffy peanut butter, it used to be called Jiffy, Jiffy. Then they changed it to Jif, and then you can't find any Jiffy peanut butter. Or Captain Crunch used to be Captain Crunch with a T, Captain, I think it's spelled, and now it's CAP''N Crunch, and then you can't find old stuff. And then the Berenstein Bears are now the Berenstain Bears. So instead of the last syllable E, it's an A. Bro, you are straight up a schizo. Okay, yeah. So you obsessed with a schizophrenic, you create multiple alt accounts. You know, you say you're unpaid, but you obsessed with what they say. Because I just subscribe to Truth Warrior. Go to Truth Warrior's channel. She's saying that Vladimir Putin is her slave master and that she's fucking connected to Elon Musk and that she has like space alien children. Why don't you go there and talk? Like if I saw you there and then I saw you here, it would make sense. But I know exactly who you are. You've been caught doing this time and time again. This person right here, and I'm gonna address Oceanside. I just seen your comment. That's a cool dude. I'm gonna address his comment in a second. Someone that's been saw like the beginning of my channel to now. So spite you, bro, you're straight up schizo. Okay, that's fine. That doesn't bother me that you think that. Like, what am I supposed to rage? Like, this is rage bait. I'm schizo. I'm schizo. Ah! Like, bro, if I seen you in other people's channels saying that shit, I would actually respect you. But I know exactly who you are. So Spite U's job is to act like he's a gang stalker. And this is why I say that. He acts like he's the consensus. His job is like, oh, there's people talking shit on this guy, and there's people trolling and lolcowing him, and look, I'm one of those people. And he'll come in with multiple accounts. I know exactly who it is. It's a failed YouTuber that fucking is jealous of people that get 100 views on their videos, like a complete waste of fucking headspace. Like, I know exactly who he is, and he's gonna come make a video without me mentioning who it is and fucking be all mad because the dude is legit mentally ill, legit has a fucking mental illness. And he sits there and fucking attacks me and Absent-Minded Abe. Reason why I bring that guy up is because he's irrelevant to the gang stalking topic, and we face the same attacks from the same attackers that think we're narcissists. You know, they can't understand that when you're online, you don't act like your boring self, because nobody wants to see that shit. Like, you put on the crazy, you put on the conspiracy, you put on, you know, you come on and you might rage out on a video, you might show some emotion. I've seen people cry on their videos. I don't fucking think they're emotionally disturbed. Like, I don't think they have issues. Like, it doesn't matter if they did, because I have a life to live. I have fucking hobbies and things I do. So I don't care about another human out of the millions of humans that is mentally ill. That's not a threat to me, because I'm a man. I have 2 testicles and a penis between my legs. Like, yeah, women want to have sex with me. Like, you might not know what that feeling feels like, because you create all these alt accounts and lie about having kids. And yeah, that's the thing that happens in my life. Now, you might not agree with that, but you're a weird fuck, dude. So his whole job is to disrupt. I had a good live stream going. It's to disrupt it, but I'll pick it back up. I'm gonna read Oceanside's comment. I always make sense out of the way you break stuff down. I definitely think Mandela effect has something to do with Wi-Fi and computer tech or some sort of digital editing software tech for sure. So let's break down Mandela effect. Thank you for leaving that comment. I'll leave that up for a second. Appreciate actual contribution of people that have brains, fucking souls and shit. So I don't feel like an NPC in an NPC universe. But Mandela, yeah, some of this stuff feels like um first let's talk about this. There's people that know about the Bible that will read the Bible every day, and then there'll be verses changed in their Bible, and it'll be like, yo, I read that verse a few months ago. Like things like that. So stuff like that you can't edit with digital software. Berenstain Bears, people have said like I had the Berenstain Bears and then it changed to Berenstain. And again, this is just testimony, so we don't know if they're lying or if they're wrong or whatever. But now, what I agree with is the movies. I think movies were digitally edited because there's certain movie scenes and lines like life is like a box of chocolates. I don't know if this is one, I'm just making it up. And then they changed it to something like life is a box of chocolates. I don't know, like some other stupid shit. Like I know the specific fucking saying. Like I know it's been a long time, but they change it. So let's talk about movies. In the James Bond movie, there's a James Bond movie with the character Jaws, the guy with the metal teeth. And then there's a girl with braces in that movie, like a young girl that James Bond. I don't know. I've never seen it, but I've seen the Mandela effect of it. And the reason why people remember that little girl is because she had braces and she's in a scene with Jaws, the guy that has metal teeth in James Bond, right? And now there's multiple people that said that and they're like freaking out. They're like, that girl doesn't even have braces. She'll smile in the scene and it'll just be regular teeth. See that? I can see them changing digitally to fuck with people, to make them, because what they're trying to do is test people's memories in a research project, right? They want to test people's memories. But to me, when you put all of the Mandela effect together, and I'm not someone that's an expert, it seems like some parallel universe shit or some type of simulation shit where whatever the stuff we remember was the real world. And the stuff we're seeing now proves that we're in a second world or a second reality or something that's different. It might not even be a different reality, a parallel universe. They might have changed something with the frequencies of the earth to like alter time or something. What they could have done was like fast forward time universally or something, by like they shave off like a quarter of a second every day or something. I don't know, dog. Like something stupid of like that. Like they shave off like a millionth of a second each day and they fucking like alter clocks. So eventually this, like they do stuff like that. Like the calendar, and this is like kind of a Mandela thing that happened in the past. Like the calendar is all fucked up. Like we go off like the Gregorian calendar, but before there used to be, and I don't know the specifics. I didn't do the research, so I'm just making shit up here, but it is pretty accurate. But I would have to do the research to give you the exact numbers and shit. But like I believe we used to have like more days and like 13 months. Another way they change reality, okay, without technology. Christmas. Jesus Christ's birthday was like, I don't know the exact date. I've heard rumors that it's September 11th is Jesus Christ's birthday. And then they say it's December 25th. And then they add in Santa Claus and it just changes it where instead of you worshiping Jesus on Christmas, on his birthday, they can change it to eventually whatever they want. They could change it to worshiping Satan, which it is. You have Satan Claus. He's wearing the red suit. December 25th is some type of occult winter solstice, like pagan thing. It has nothing to do with Christianity. So they change reality for more masses of people multiple times throughout history. Now, if they have the technology, which I think technology used to exist hundreds of thousands of years ago, but it looked different. Like they had computers and spaceships and shit, but it looked a little bit more primitive. And then the Earth got destroyed, and then we start over in cycles or some shit. Like, so basically, Mandela, from my research, and I'm not accurate, but I'm more accurate than fucking some idiot named fucking Spite You. like some fucking faggot that never makes content or makes fucking weak ass content and then just like hides in the shadows and lurks fucking specific people like, oh, you're a narcissist, so therefore I'm gonna join the Freemasons secretly and troll you. And the like they have the Freemasons have these trolls doing like stooge work. But anyways, the CERN, this is from my research. CERN collider was first, okay? We can look it up. I'm not gonna leave the live stream and look it up. Let's just say early 2000s is when they started doing that. Mandela, people noticing the Mandela from my research, no earlier than like 2010, 2012-ish. And then 2012 was the end of the Mayan calendar. Remember how many times the earth was supposed to end? If you're my age, if you remember that shit, we had Y2K, we had 2012, and then we had 2020, dog. Like in 2 decades, the earth was supposed to end 3 times. Okay. So maybe the Mayans knew the earth cycle was going to end and a new cycle was going to begin. But when these cycles happen, there is mass death, like Black Plague, fucking the 2020 coughing epidemic that you can't say without getting censored. You had to stay in your house and get a shot, and fucking whatever's next, Agenda 2030. So let's go into the secret society involvement in this shit. Because this is how I feel like the secret society was involved, because the people in the Freemasons and the Illuminati knew all this stuff. They knew about Mandela. They knew about the cycles and the fucking ancient knowledge and whatever, right? And they were putting spells through these fake news shootings. Because you notice how there's no fake shootings? Like, don't you find that weird? Don't you find that weird that we went through a period? Again, you have to be my age to recognize these patterns, right? You can't be 20, 18 years old and know about this shit because you're just too young. Like, you just think it's normal. But isn't it weird? Like, there's not any more fake shootings where 33 are dead, or 33 people died on this boat, or 33 people died on this plane, or 33 people died. Like, dude, I was paying attention to that shit. It was on purpose. I don't know if they were fudging the numbers or if the events were fake, but there's fucking shootings with witnesses that are wearing Freemason hats. They were trolling us for a little bit. And the reason why is because they were doing a spell. Okay. So if that spell keeps the matrix together, keeps them in power, balances, whatever they fucking, I don't know about that shit, but whatever the reasoning is, that's why they were doing it. Okay. My opinion through my research. But again, no one goes to Truth Warrior's fucking site, some woman in New Jersey who hits a crack pipe and literally lies and says ridiculous stuff to get donations. And no one leaves a comment like you're schizophrenic. But if I say hypothetically, do research, I'm real careful about how I'm talking. I'm the schizophrenic. Even though I don't believe this shit, I'm just giving my opinion and trying to put like a detective, you know what I'm saying, coming up with fucking timelines and shit for suspects or something. Like, doesn't have to be fucking correct. We're trying to figure shit out. Someone else that's smarter comes along, edifies me, comes up with a better theory. Great, because I'm not getting paid for the shit anyways, or recognition. So that's what I want. I want someone to be better than me at explaining this. But people are NPCs. They're dull. It's not a lack of intelligence or education. There's no soul force. They're like robots. They're about, oh, well, if I'm alive, if I'm a narcissist, or if I'm selfish, or if I'm doing something for me, I'm alive. But anything else, I'm fucking critical of everyone else. Talking like, nah, like, you're not capable of having a discussion with me. That's why you go to those insults, you leave comments, you create alt accounts. You're not capable of having a discussion. Okay. Now, when people talk about this, it has to be their way, or they're into spirituality, or they're into God. They have to do that because they're NPCs. They won't let you speak the truth. This what gets censored the most is the truth. Okay. People don't like the truth. We all know Berenstain Bears was spelled that way once looked at my friends' old books from when they were young, and when I took them out the box, they indeed spelled Berenstain creepy as fuck. Yeah, and I wasn't a big fan of Berenstain books, but my brother had that book, and there's a reason they would change that though. Like that is a tricky one because Berenstain sounds Jewish. And if they're trying to sell books, because you got to think of like the old school racist people that were like closeted racists, like they would not buy a book if it said Berenstain. Like certain, it might be 10%, 5%, you would lose sales. I mean, in Hollywood, Jewish people would change their name, like Joan Rivers. Her name wasn't Joan Rivers. I think it was like some Jewish name. Like I could be wrong. It could have been Joan Rivers, but that's what they used to do in the 50s and 60s because they noticed that they would sell more tickets or more movies by having a stage name. So it does make sense, but the cover up is done by people like Spite You. That's what I'm trying to say. These people are NPC robots. Oh, you're schizo. Explain why I'm schizophrenic. Let's have a discussion about it. Let's have an intelligent discussion where you're not just hurling a word at me and why I'm a schizophrenic, why I'm a narcissist. Like you just live, it's like calling someone a nigger. Well, you're a nigger, so it's the same fucking thing. Like some black guy comes up with an invention, is smart. He explains it. He's kind. He's courteous. Well, that doesn't count. He's a nigger. Oh, you're a nigger, so no, you're a nigger. You can't do that. You're a nigger. It's the same thing as schizophrenic. So even if I was schizophrenic, I couldn't come up with a genius idea. Like it's impossible. Like I'm about to look up famous schizophrenic people, and they're probably like famous painters, authors, and shit like that. So who cares if someone's schizophrenic? Good for you that you noticed that. Do you want a cookie? It's not true, but would you want one if it was? Like, I don't understand that shit. Like, what are you doing? Oh, are you making alt accounts? Oh, yeah, dude. Are you pretending to have two daughters again? Is that what you're doing? Oh, it's stupid. It's people that, like, let's say someone calls me a schizophrenic, but they come up with, like, cool original ideas and they're fucking funny or something. Like, okay. Yeah, I would feel like shit. I was like, oh, shit, maybe I should get diagnosed or something. Like, oh, I know you're a loser. I know you're fucking stupid. I know you're a fucking loser because you would do something better with your time over the course of 3.5 years. You see, there's just a double standard, man. Like I make a couple videos on Abe, I'm obsessed. But if someone makes multiple alt accounts, you know what I'm saying? That's not obsession, though. That's not. He's the one that can magically point out the schizophrenic. His behavior isn't schizophrenic, though. Multiple personalities, multiple accounts. Fucking faceless, wordless coward. Speechless coward. Fucking deaf mute. But yeah, so again, I can't be on here too long. Got work. I got to charge my phone. If you want me to talk about anything else, let me know in the comments. But I'm just gonna continue on. That just A to Z run through the theory here. So it makes sense for fucking regular people. And it's just a theory, guys. Like, so this is the whole deal. Again, if you can like piece it together better than me, that's what I would hope for. Because I'm not sitting around thinking about this shit, like dedicating my life. I'm just coming on making a live stream about what I think. So if you have better information, it would be beneficial for you to put it out. Like if I'm such a bad person, but I'm gonna go over the theory for you. Okay. Natural world is what we'll call it. We were all born, if you're like my age or older, and it could be different, like the variation, but we're all born in a natural world where there's limited technology. You know what I'm saying? The way you experience consciousness is through a vaginal birth, through your mother, through fucking conception. Period. Like that's the only way every animal, every conscious being outside of aliens on this planet could experience this reality. You had to be born mammal, okay? Warm blooded, hospital. You know what I'm saying? So down the line, like technology's always been advanced since I've been born. Okay, so like the 1950s, they had, let's just assume they had UFOs, like the military, right? People, right? So they had fucking advanced computers back then. By the time, like, our, let's just assume everything is 30 to 50 years behind, maybe even 100 or 200 years behind, right? So they knew someone like in the early 70s or 80s, the people that are the elites, they knew like there's a capability of creating a simulation, virtual reality of planet Earth, and it's going to be done eventually. Someone's going to do it. And when that happens, we do not live in this natural world anymore because we won't be able to differentiate the natural world from this matrix virtual reality that someone creates that fucking mirrors Earth to a fucking T. And all these little caveats, like 33 dead in the news, these little glitches you see, is to fucking show signs that this is a computer reality for people that are aware, people going in and out from the natural world to the virtual world. So the people going from the natural world to this, let's say we live in a matrix, right? Those people that have access to both worlds in the matrix, they're going to leave little Easter egg clues like, yo, you're in the matrix, bro. Look at the news. It's ridiculous. Have you ever played a video game like Grand Theft Auto? You put on the news, like everything's a joke on the radio. It's like a joke radio station, and it's meant for you to know as the fucking player of the game that this is a fake radio station. That's why we're making it funny. So that's how I explain like the Trump stuff, right? These and the Trump, not just him, but the level of news that we experienced like a couple years before him and then to now. The ridiculous, weird news that we see, right? And how things are playing out. So those are Easter eggs. So like when you're in the natural world going to the matrix, well, yeah, in this world, Donald Trump's the president. Like they're laughing, like they're creating this matrix. You know what I'm saying? It's not something, we live in a thing that's created and manipulated through technology where outcomes can be controlled, right? But in the natural world, it was a free for all, dude. Like at any time, someone could bust down your door and fucking kill you, like a fucking gang or something. Like it was just some random, like whatever you decide is what happens. And it was more fucking violent and scarier. Okay, is one thing I noticed from the old world to this one. Like when you see someone get shot, is you don't feel it, you don't get scared. When someone gets shot, yeah, there's blood and shit like that. But back in the day, when you looked at pictures of fucking people getting shot, like there would be like chunks of body parts missing, like disgusting dark red blood, fucking bloodbath scene, like out of a horror movie. Now it's like we're used to it or something, right? Or we live in a parallel universe. So that's my explanation for the two, right? So in the natural world, they started building CERN. And once they started building CERN, like these people that are elite scientists, they're in the background, like this is going to open up a parallel universe and we're not going to know the difference. So we're going to program these things in the parallel universe so we fucking don't freak out. And there's a way to go back in the fucking virtual reality matrix. There's like, you go to this specific room and fucking, you press a button and then the fucking in real life, your headset comes off. And you have to do that. So hold on a second. Okay, so you've seen episodes of like South Park where they do shit like this, where they put the Oculus and they can't tell the difference between the virtual reality and the real reality. So there's nothing schizophrenic of what I'm talking about because I'm not saying this is true. I'm saying this is a possibility of what happened. So anyone saying stupid shit like that, and again, this is why they do that, it's called rage bait. And I engage in the same tactic, so I can't really complain because I rage bait haters to fucking bring them out in the light instead of hiding in the shadows. So, but so natural world, matrix, parallel universe world, we got that established. So let's explanation, Mandela effect. Mandela effect is like the changes that you notice, okay? And it's to test out the NPCs. Like we're all NPCs. Like if we're in a parallel universe, we're all NPCs. Now some NPCs are more enlightened than other NPCs and they need to be put in check. And that's where the targeting comes in. So like, let's talk about my targeting, like a little hole in the wall, right? I'm gonna give you an example. Now this wasn't from gang stalking, but I'm gonna give you an example like right now. in live time, because this stuff does happen, right? So you're living in your house and nothing is wrong with your house. And then you wake up and you see this. You see that right there, right? So, like, this is stuff that happens in gang stalking. Now, that's not gang stalking. I'm giving you an example. Like, you're living in a house and you see that, and you're like, the only way that can happen if someone fucking breaks it. Like, that's the only way that can happen. I mean, there's water damage, there's all types of stuff. And that stuff keeps happening, right? And you think you're being gang stalked, but you're noticing changes in the matrix, because every time you wake up, the matrix is the parallel universe quantum computer is rendering your room. Every time you open your eyes, it's a new room, but it looks exactly the same, but there's little flaws in it that you notice. And you, as an NPC, when you notice that little flaw, you're like, wait, like, okay, yeah, this stuff could be natural, but you know, people are keying my car, people are, oh, there's flat tires, there's this, there's that, cosmetic damage to this. You're like it's testing your awareness. It's testing if you're aware, how aware you are in the fucking matrix. As you become too aware, I think there's something in the matrix where people can actually, there's a level of free will where you can climb out of the matrix. You can figure out in the matrix, and then you can be smart enough to fucking, like Neo in the matrix. So let's not be all cliche, but to get out of it. It's not common, but the way they prevent that is through targeting and gang stalking. So when you're waking up as an NPC, right, you're becoming more sentient. They send the gang stalkers, so you think, oh fuck, I'm in the real world and I'm being gang stalked by the government because I'm in the real world. Like, this would only happen in the real, not a parallel, you know, only the real world. Like, people hate me and they're targeting me and they're dedicating their lives to fuck with me, and it's random people and this and that. But the whole time, other NPCs are being mind controlled to fuck with you, yeah. But the whole time, there is no gang stalking program that's official. Like, yeah, it's a real program, but it's not a real program. It's the constraint of your own mind, of your own NPC mind. It's like a self-defense alarm system to keep you in the fucking matrix. Because you're thinking about material possessions, you're thinking about finances, you're thinking about getting back to normal, right? Normalcy, normal life. You're never going to think about, wow, I'm in a fucking parallel universe. Look at all these fucking changes. Like, wow, I'm becoming sentient, because you're being gang stalked. Get it? It's to keep you in that mental trap of, this is the matrix and this is real. And your real fucking shoes got fucking vandalized by a real gang stalker. You better watch out. You better buy locks. You better think about gang stalking. You better watch gang stalking videos. What's more NPC than dropping everything you know, all your hobbies, and just spending all your time watching gang stalking videos? What is more NPC than that? Robotic than that? Nothing. Then you have these trolls. Oh, you're schizophrenic and you think you're being gang stalked to inundate you that you're in a real world. And there's a possibility that you're crazy in the real world and things happening are part of your fucking brain. And that these subtle changes are going unnoticed and you're trapped living an NPC life, robotic life. So that's my fucking theory on that. I mean, it's a pretty good fucking theory for someone that just coming on and talking about it. I didn't even think about it or anything. I just came on and started talking about it. But it makes fucking sense. And the internet is what keeps us connected, surveilled in the matrix. Okay? Like these drones that follow people, they'll follow anybody. If you break your NPC and you break off some type of grid that they have set out for you, algorithm, then the drone activates in the sky, turns on, and follows you. But I have to wrap this shit up. My phone's dying. But I want to diversify the portfolio here, content wise. But it's not something I think about all the time. But I think it's possible. I think that's what's going on, and that's why people feel like they're so fucking trapped. And that's what this shit is doing. The news, all that shit, just keeping you from fucking doing anything that the Matrix doesn't want you to do that can enlighten you. And that's where this chosen one shit come. Like, yeah, there are chosen ones, but you're NPCs that are chosen. You were chosen NPC. That's all. But I'm wrapping this up.